It was a sunny Saturday morning when you packed your bags and prepared to leave for your parents' house. It had been a while since you spent some quality time with them, and you know they missed you. The decision to visit your parents' house had been a difficult one, primarily because of how attached Jungkook and you were to each other. However, you missed your parents and you needed to spend some time with them. Your husband Jungkook understand this need of yours, though you could see reluctance in his eyes when you told him about your plans. How long will you be go? He said, trying to keep his tone casual and light. Just a few days, you replied, giving him a smile. I promise I will be back before you even started missing me. He chuckled and pulled you into a tight hug. I miss you already, he murmured into your hair. You felt a pang in your heart but reassured yourself that it was just a short trip. Jungkook sent off with you. The journey to your parents' house was filled with nostalgic. The familiar sights, sounds, and smells brought back a flood of memories. Your parents were thrilled to see you, showering with you hugs and kisses. You all spent the day talking, laughing, and catching up on lost time. It was comforting to be back in your childhood home, surrounded by the love and warmth of your family. Meanwhile, back at your apartment, Jungkook was finding it hard to adjust to your absence. The silence was deafening without your presence. Every corner of the house reminded him of you, and the scent of your perfume lingering all over the bedroom. He tried to distract himself with work, but his thoughts kept drifting back to you. On that day night, Jungkook lay on bed staring at the ceiling. The bed felt too big and too empty without you. He tossed and turned trying to find comfortable position. But he can't sleep. He picked up his phone and sent you a text. Missing you already. How is everything there? He messaged you replied almost immediately. Everything is great here. Mom and dad are so happy to see me. How are you holding up? Not great. The house feels so empty without you. You smiled at his honesty. I miss you too, Jungkook. I will be home soon, I promise. Over the next few days, Jungkook tried his best to keep himself busy. He went to gym, hung up with friends, and busy in his work. But no matter what he did, there was an emptiness that nothing could fill. He realized just how much he depended on your daily interactions, the little routines you both had developed together. On the third day, he decided to surprise you with a video call. He reached for his phone and video called you. The call startled and you wake, and you glanced at the clock. It was exactly midnight. Seeing Jungkook's name on the screen brought a smile on your face despite the late night. You answered the call immediately. Hey love, you greeted softly. Hey, I couldn't sleep. I miss you too much. I know, it's hard, but it's only for a few days. We'll be together again. You both talked for a while, sharing the details of your day and comforting each other. Seeing his face and hearing his voice made the distance little less. Despite the physical separation, your connection remained strong. Do you remember our first trip together? Of course, we got lost and ended up finding that beautiful little cave by the river. Yeah, and we stayed there for hours, just talking and watching the sunset. I miss moments like that. We will have many more moments like that. You know, today I had a rough day at work. I just wanted to come home and talk to you about it, but you weren't there. Your heart ached hearing the vulnerability in his voice. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I wish I could be there for you. It's okay. I know you are having good time with your family. It's just I miss you. I promise I will be home soon. Eventually, Jungkook's eyes grew heavier and you could see the toll sleepless nights were taking on him. See, you are too tired. Try to get some rest. I will try. I love you. Good night. I love you too, Jungkook. Good night. After you hung up, you lay back on bed. It was tough being apart, but knowing how much he missed you made you feel incredibly cherished. The next few days passed in a blur of family activities and constant communication with Jungkook. You both texted, called, and video chatted as much as possible, making the distance feel more manageable. One evening, as you were helping your mom in work, your phone burst with a message from Jungkook. Ryan, I can't wait any longer. I miss you too much. I am coming to get you. Are you serious? When? Now. I will be there in a few hours. Then he hung up the call. You told your parents about Jungkook's plan and they were delighted. They loved Jungkook and understood how much you both missed each other. Later, after a few hours, you heard a car pull up in the driveway. You peeked out the window and saw Jungkook stepping out, looking as handsome as ever despite the long drive. You rushed to the door and flung it open, your heart racing. Jungkook, you called out running towards him. He opened his arms wide, catching you in a warm embrace. I missed you so much, he said, holding you tightly. I missed you too, you whispered, feeling the familiar comfort of his presence. Then Jungkook greeted your parents warmly. Thank you for taking such good care of her. We are happy to have her here, but we know how much you two mean to each other. It's been wonderful having her home, but we understand. You all spend some time together in the living room, chatting and sharing stories. Jungkook and your parents got along so well, and it was heartwarming to see them connect. Eventually, it was time to leave. Your parents hugged you tightly, their eyes glistening with happy tears. Take care of each other. Always. You packed your things into car and waved goodbye as you both drove away. You felt gratitude for the time you spent with your family. The drive back home was peaceful. Jungkook held your hand, occasionally glancing over at you with a loving smile. I couldn't stand being away from you any longer. I felt the same way. I'm so happy you came to get me. When you finally arrived home, Jungkook carried your bags inside. The moment when you stepped into your house, it felt so good to be home, where everything was familiar and comforting. Jungkook closed the door behind you both. Before you could take another step, he wrapped his arms around you from behind, pulling you into a warm embrace. I missed you so much. His voice filled with emotion. You leaned back against him, savoring the closeness. I missed you too, you said, placing your hands over his. You turned your head slightly to look at him and noticed the faint shadows under his eyes and the slight paleness of his skin. Jungkook, have you been eating well? You look a bit pale. He didn't respond immediately, just held you tighter. After a moment, he said, I guess I haven't been taking care of myself very well. You turned around to face him, cupping his face in your hands. You need to take care of yourself now. How about I cook us something? A good meal will do us both some good. You must be exhausted from the trip. How about I order something instead? You can rest and we can enjoy dinner together. He was right. You was tired. Okay, but you have to promise me that you will let me cook for you tomorrow. Okay, as you wish, he said and kissed your forehead. You both settled on the couch and Jungkook quickly placed an order of your favorite. As you both waited for the food to arrive, you both talked and enjoying each other's company. When the food is arrived, you both set the table and dug in. Jungkook's appetite seemed to return with each bite, and it warmed your heart to see him enjoying his meal. This is really good, but not as good as your cooking. You chuckled, feeling a blush creep up your cheeks. After dinner, you both cleared the table together and headed to your bedroom. You both laid on bed. Jungkook pulled you into his embrace and you both cuddled close. I never want to be apart from you like that again. I don't either, you replied, resting your head on his chest. We will make sure to always stay close. His arms tightened around you.